Well, a Mississauga father whose son was hit by a vehicle is frustrated with the police response after he says that he personally tracked down the driver responsible. Syed Saeed shared footage with CP24 showing his 13-year-old son being hit. This is at the intersection of 10th Line West and Perennial Drive while he walked to school on Monday. We've chosen not to show the moment of impact, but the driver then slowly pulls away from the scene. Unfortunately, Saeed's son was left only with minor injuries. The Peel police say that the collision is under investigation. And to talk more about this right now, I'm joined by Mr. Saeed. Thank you very much for taking time to speak with us. First off, I just need to get your reaction when your two kids, they come back, they're supposed to be going to school, and your son says that he was hit by a car, and your daughter saw the whole thing.
Yeah. When they came back, I was shocked. Wife was shocked. My little daughter was in trauma. Something happened to the big brother. Something happened. I asked them what happened, and she said, "We don't know what happened, Dad. We don't know." And then the lady on the street, they walked them back to the house. They were shocking. They were shocking. The body was shaking. I was traumatized. I did not know how to handle the situation. I just rushed to the school, and that's how the situation was at that moment.
So let's go through the next steps. Take us through what happened, how you eventually get to the bottom of this.
So the moment he came back home, I went out to the street. I located the volunteers. They had no clue. I went to the school, the middle school, straight to the principal, and I asked him, "Listen, this is what happened to my son walking to school. Do you have a camera? Is there a footage that you can take out? Do you have anyone came forward with the evidence or saying that they saw someone or the driver appeared himself?" But there was nothing from the school principal. Then both the elementary and the middle schools are shared the same ground. I walked to the elementary school. I spoke to the principal over there. I told her, "Listen, this something happened. Where are your volunteers? What is your protocol? Do you have cameras around?" She said, "No, we don't have cameras. None of the volunteers has any information." Then after that, I just called 911. I told them, "Listen, this is not an emergency situation because my 13-year-old minor who did not know how to handle the situation, he rushed back home." So he had no clue how to handle it. He did not even know in the first place what happened to him. He probably thought he probably in a denial mode that he did something wrong, and then it caused the trouble around the neighborhood. So then I called the 911. They said it's not an active emergency. Call this line, and then I call another line, and I told them, "Listen, this something happened. It's a hit and run. It's a minor involved." The first question they asked me, "Do you have a plate?" I said, "I don't have a plate. I'm just calling you for my minor kid, as a father, and this something happened to my kid." He said, "Sir, we cannot entertain you because you don't have a plate. So you have to go to the collision center." So right away, I rushed to collision center. It was closed. I spoke to the police officer. I iterated him the entire story. She said, "I cannot help you. You have to wait for a collision center." As soon as the person opened the collision center record, I explained him the story. He said, "We cannot register anything. You don't have a plate." I said, "How come? I've been talking to you people since morning. I've been on multiple calls, and then the final person told me that the collision center would help you, and she did not." And then they talked to each other in their own terminologies. They pulled me to another window, and some other police officer called some other line. They kept me hold for another half an hour. They came back to me and they said, "Okay, this person will call you back." That person called me and said, "Okay, we'll come to your home and then we'll take all your statement." I waited the entire day. Nothing happened. Next morning, I walked in the neighborhood one by one to each house, located the cameras, and uh, fortunately, there are very good people around the neighborhood. They provide me those footages, and this is where I found how the accident happened.
And, we did reach out to Peel Police. They said that the initial delay in responding was due to a higher than usual volume of priority calls. But, also you ended up going, door to door. As you mentioned, you actually confronted the driver. Part of a statement from Peel Police say that, confronting individuals can put you at risk. You never know who is on the other side of that confrontation. Can you tell us about what happened? And Were you fearful at all?
No, it was just a simple door-to-door knocking. I just wanted to ask the person, is the admit or no? And that's it. So I relocated the car on Eglinton Avenue, and then there were a few homes we did not know which one. I just went door to door and just asked them, okay, this car belongs to you. And then finally that lady came up and she said, yeah, it's my car. And I asked her day before yesterday morning, did you hit a kid? And she said yes, and that was it. And I just left.
And as we begin to wrap up, what do you want to say about this entire experience? And also, how are your children doing after all of this?
So my parents brought me to Canada because of two reasons: one, health, and other, safety. I think we are far away from uh, things that Canada was known for. The crime has come up. And I'm not sure about the health sector because I haven't come across that. How I'm feeling, my whole house is traumatized. My wife and me, we are not talking since 3 4 days. We have nothing to share or nothing to talk about. All we is think about our son accident. um, every morning the routine has been changed. No one is leaving the house alone. I make sure I hold the hand of my kids very tight while crossing the road. Even if the pedestrian walk is my right of way, I make sure all around there is no car approaching us. I have 4 kids, they're all minors. My oldest is 13 and my youngest is 6.
Mr. Saeed, thank you very much for your time, and I hope that this process wasn't too traumatic for you to share this
Yeah.
with us.
Thank you for your cooperation. I really want to raise this up for the community, to raise up the concern with the police and the security, especially in the case of minors, because every kid is important.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.